Hi, my name is Wesley. I'm just really relaxing again out here in my backyard. Um, just drinking coffee in the mornings. I like to drink coffee and play video games. I then watch television. I usually turn on my Xbox and then while I check my preferences, my email, and I make sure that the house is maintained and well taken care of. And then I usually do my own thing in the restroom, and then my mother, she goes to work, and then everybody just goes to work, and then I'm just here by myself. Sometimes um, with my stepdad. I was thinking about switching to smoking cigarettes again this morning. Usually, that's one of the things I miss most about waking up to is waking up and then coming out here for a breeze, just to light a cigarette and enjoy the weather in Buena Park. But really, I see there's no reason to because it's kind of pointless. Smoking is kind of pointless, really. Um, you can't really make a good conversation about a cigarette butt or like say a joint or a pipe with a drug substance such as marijuana. Well, because usually those kind of drugs are really for loners, and um, a lot of people that rap, they tend to do drugs. I don't know what gave them the idea that it would be something like the cool thing to do. Um, you hear them rap about it a lot in music and entertainment, thinking that it will make everything more HD, everything more 4K. Um, that's pretty much a lie. Um, you don't have to go to like a marketplace to know that. Um, that's pretty much something you could just kind of tell, really. Um, 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 but if you want to leave a comment down below about what you think about like where drugs are today, and if um, well, if you're in the medical field, or if you're like a doctor just scrolling around the internet looking at videos of people that are diagnosed with such problems, go ahead and leave a like. Or if you hate the video, I don't know, go to the cafeteria or something. Well, I'm just drinking coffee. I wish I had a cigarette or something. Um, if I could get my hands on like um, actually some medicinal marijuana, that would be like that'd be cool, I guess. Though it's not like completely illegal. I mean, everybody does it. Just the television, they like to put it out there that certain things are left untouched, and you don't really have to believe in any of that. Um, you just gotta grow up. Um, um, you gotta let adults be adults, and everybody gets along just fine, or else you run into bigger problems, like the big brother that you don't want to mess with. It's kind of funny. I've heard stories about like people that run into such problems. They make movies about that type of stuff, like car accidents and like beef with the police and just stuff like that. Those aren't really any big issues people like me because uh, living here on the planet Earth, um, I wouldn't say I'm from around here. Um, I wouldn't say that I'm from a specific city because I've grown up in several different cities. So I used to walk a lot from school to different stores just to find myself in the entertainment aisle where I play video games and stuff like that. Um, Back then at Target, they had like the PS3s and the Xbox 360s and the HD televisions, and the only samples that they had were like games like Just Dance and stuff like that. Um, I remember this one time I went to Target, and then I started to like it there because uh, people that were gathering around the demos were really like um, really put themselves out there. Um, I kind of like that about people that I hang out with. They're kind of funny. Um, I was watching this demo of like Just Dance, and one of the customers actually started to like get his groove on, like next to me, but like not on me. So I wasn't offended by any of it. It was just something I could imagine like I don't know my niece doing, or she wouldn't do that, but like an unborn child would do that. This is the cup I'm holding. It's a big W with a clock, some graphic design, a few numerals like 1 through 12, the capital W, not for George Bush, but for like more like the direction of the wind. Because look on the other side, it's blank, and then on this side is a butterfly. So it's not a girl's cup. It's just I wouldn't say I love women. I'm just saying I'm more of a bird person or a bird watcher. So I just watch. I guess that's why I come to learn that why I like cigarettes so much is because um, it doesn't grant you like certain powers of like keen eyesight or like status Asian or like ground zeros or anything like that. That's a lie. Um, that's just what they commercialize in like places like Las Vegas where they smoke the most. Um, it comes from a plant, so you could tell the mixture, the compound. People who smoke it are very rich. Um, I wouldn't use the term indeed because well, I'm not a rapper. Um, though I do wander from yards to parking lots, places that usually people don't go. So I have a violent history. Um, um, I'm not crying or anything. It's just uh, my violence, my hatred is so strong that I start to shed tears when I let's say I'm fighting someone, or if somebody loses a fight against me or somebody wins. Either way, it's bad news because of the way we grew up. We grew up loving our mothers, so it's something we'll never really understand as men. It's just we'll just have to learn to at some point uh, forget about each other, man to man. Um, uh, we are at this time where man seems very where mankind seems very confident in himself, facing a storm of sea viruses and um, hatred for another race, all because of a girlfriend or what they call um, what a man must be like in book terms, or how a man should be when he grows up, no matter the peer pressure, or let's say at school or wherever children roam. A child grows to comes from being a baby to a kid, and then grows through teenage years. He then grows up to an adult. Um, I don't know. He considers going to karate. He ends up playing video games. He gets annoyed by his family when people skip scenes. And Though some of us male predators, we do it on purpose, just to get them going. Get a move on. Uh, it's really hot out here. Now's really not the time. Um, though man eventually learns to gather his group, his troops, and they all gather together. Like imagine a bunch of men gathering together, and then all of them start yelling at the top of their lungs as like who they are, and then eventually the woman does it. Though we learned that this this one term that a man once said is that well, he didn't get it, so he came up with this term that he said to a group of spectators that it all fell upon deaf ears. And the funny thing is that it actually worked, because he thought he was talking about himself. Not Ezra Miller, Idris Elba, the African actor. The one that's supposed to be the cool guy in the Dark Tower. Really, that's what's his name? Matthew McConaughey. A lot of women like those type of men. Idris Elba is in the movie for some reason. I don't know. I thought when I saw the movie, I thought they would pick someone else for the role, but I think it's a Stephen King. It was based on a Stephen King book that he's the author. I would definitely consider buying the movie in HD, just because of just to cheer for my for your favorite supporting actor. In this case, Matthew McConaughey. I don't know about Idris Elba. He was in Ragnarok. He had these like long dreads, so it doesn't make sense. And then in Dark Tower, he cut his hair, and then suddenly he could see through fabric and shoot at long distances with a mere pistol. Making movies, you gotta make more sense. Though if they're doing it on purpose just to piss us off, eventually there's a war. Like, I read the book, the Divergent series, where they gather in factions. They break it down real easy. So you're really not supposed to underestimate anybody, like the people watching the project. You can't call us anything really. You just expect us home. And we just look after the place. The news, the politicians, the president, they can't call it anything. A lion's roar wouldn't be too much. Wouldn't be like enough. Laughter from a hyena wouldn't quite cut it. Um, Loud trumpets and celebrations don't quite match. Uh, just obnoxious chirping, really. It's kind of pathetic. This life actually, and uh, um, how life came to be. I'm talking about, of course, eating breakfast um, on Sunday mornings, and well, for me, it's every morning. Um, Let me know in the comments what you think about like people who earn a honest living from taking down like trees that have like um, or I saw it on this one chapter in the Michael Jackson documentary where they were taking down trees with birds' nests in them and killing wildlife to make a habitat for humans. Um, uh, there's nothing funny about it. It's just eventually that does happen because well, because men are so pissed off, and we have the right to be because we were born that way, and we saw it all through the eyes of the womb, and uh, so there's really no question about it. There's no there's no day after where maybe just in case go to wherever you might live and um, I don't know, spend the night. Uh, Eventually, the bird dies, um, runs out of oxygen. Um, though I have made some mistakes on my part, um, just the other side has made a lot more. It becomes almost funny, uh, though it becomes more satisfying on my part. Um, if you listen with me, I mean, you could pretty much tell who, I don't know, leave a comment, leave a like or a dislike. Um, though I'm not the type to like yell at nature because nature eventually loses because it called itself Mother Earth, and with men here, it's not easy to name your status um, in that manner. You have to watch your mannerisms. Um, but yeah, uh, nature just continues to make nests underground in beehives, in trees. Um, um, so you can't tell if they actually want to cry or if they want to um, yell insane and I don't know, kick their talons or something, trying to run on concrete. That doesn't work. That's not how Mother Nature made them. I wouldn't say they made them for me, because that's not the way the universe is spun or the solar system is. You don't got to go to school for that. It's just that's something you have to know at the door. Um, like where the military comes to your door and they draft your the mail for a war. He eventually meets others that were drafted, and they all carry grimaces, and they all figure, well, what the hell? Maybe they might grow a beard, and eventually a woman will like them. I shave my beard, so it's not funny because I drink alcohol too, so I have a temper. So I get choosy about what the opposite sex and what the um, what the others might say or just the thought about it. Um, Um, I ran into trouble with the police too. Uh, I went to jail for assault. Um, I hit a cop in Rialto. I'm not too happy about it. It's just I was drunk, and I didn't really think about it. I just hit him. I tend to do that when people like to get really close to me. Um, it doesn't really work out so easily. Um, I don't know. I'm not special. Um, I do have special needs, so um, like I mentioned before, you gotta uh, I don't know, just live your life, I guess. Um, become a protester. Um, use your arts and crafts to make signs about like things you wish uh, were to you wish the world would be like, or the life you wish you had. Um, uh, Maybe consider like lifting weights, um, maintaining a nice physique, um, like a action superstar. Exactly. Um, I don't know. Maintain a healthy diet. Drink lots of water. Then not the I'm right next to a pool, so maybe the birds wouldn't like to drink that. It has chlorine in it. Um, just drink water from a Barnes and Noble that's close, or just go to the gutter. Um, and that's pretty much the life that animals live. Though a lot of humans and infested with testosterone, um, they don't know how to express themselves sometimes. So like they either put it in movies, they blurt it out loud in public places. Um, uh, um, the part I'm talking about is, of course, the loud chirping. Um, the where they try to make their voice real deep. Um, the voice eventually cracks, um, and then it scares everybody away, and then you begin to cry. And life doesn't grow from that. Um, uh, Everything starts to decay. It starts to like it starts to wear on your face, kind of like the blood in God of War, when after a long bloodbath of fighting. Um, I saw this one movie called The Avengers: Age of Ultron, and the Avengers: Infinity War, and the first Avengers. My favorite superhero would be Black Widow, because she's like she makes the film more action packed, and she says a lot of funny things sometimes. So like um, her face is like, her beauty is like very like the makeup artists in the movie, they they did a lot of great work on the film, on the actors and actresses. Um, it's an action movie. It's a sort of sci-fi. So there's like, it's about a robot that becomes the enemy. Becomes Jarvis becomes a Vision, and Iron Man, he works with Jarvis, and he's entrusted with the Soul Stone, or not the Soul Stone, the yellow thing in his head is actually a stone that Thanos needs. Um, if you've seen the movie, you know that Vision dies, but he gets a second chance only to wake up and get the stone stripped from him. Uh, he has Wanda like kill him, so that's kind of like a twisted sense of humor from Mother Nature, the way a woman would do that to the male. They're supposed to be best friends. Um, of course, I was talking sort of self-centered there. Um, though with me it passes because with some of us it passes because of it's a heavyweight. Um, um, but yeah, other than that, I'm just chilling, waiting for my package to arrive at Amazon. I also ordered a remote control for my Xbox 360, so maybe my niece and I could play together on the Xbox. I have a game we could play on co-op. It's called Resident Evil 5, and you just shoot. Um, you heal your partner. You get to heal. You get to heal the partner with a first aid spray, and then you get to join in on the action. And there's other games like from SNK. The Metal Slug X is a good game, but I had it uninstalled because um, I ran into a problem where like the people didn't finish making the game. Um, there was like this gate or something that once you enter in as a robot, you can't jump out unless the robot has been destroyed. And the blasters, there's no checkpoint, there's no saving. It saves, but it only saves from the start mission. So that game is really problematic. There was no excuses. I just once you run into those kind of problems, you just delete the thing, or you have it uninstalled. I'm not looking into my neighbor's yard or anything. I'm just kind of approaching the gate. Yeah, I'm at the gate right now. And it's really sunny out. You can tell from the look on my face that I'm not angry. It's just the sun won't go away. It stays there, kind of stupid like. Uh, it doesn't know how to interact with people the way it's looking down on us. It's voiceless, so it runs on this sort of like presence thing where it eventually bumps into a mosh pit because we mosh. And with me in there, that's kind of bad because not only do I mosh, uh, I also punch. If you get too close, I aim for the face and limbs. Uh, it pretends not to hear, but it does have ears. Um, it knows how to. It has history of bullying, of burning ants, and one time I got bit by a war ant. Uh, like I mentioned before, it was the bigger brother. Um, though there is this one story about the sun where it was given enough power to be known as the status of such things as the bringer of life and like provider of energy, the father, the brother, um, all the sad stories, all the horror stories, the drama, um, even ancient times. Uh, though uh, you can't quite place it. It's just it has a job like the rest of us. So I'm just kind of out here and by my pool. Just thankful that it's providing me with a low, a little bit of vitamins in my skin. Um, um, I was paying close attention to the 30 mark, wondering if the video was gonna end at 30, but I guess I gotta edit that. Um, um, yeah, that's pretty much all from the sun. Is just a lot of and a lot of droll feelings. Uh, there's really nothing much from it. That's all the summer there is. Um, that's the whole ocean, the Atlantic and Pacific, and the stories about how like the world will end in the world will drown, and there'll be a massive hurricane of rain, hail, and lots of wet animals. Uh, Even like the animals that swim in the water, like sharks, and make funny noises in the water to call their siblings. Um, they don't really eventually they don't make it to Earth, to land. They make it in video games actually, um, but like very artsy. So it was just drawn. There's a story about it called Death Stranding, where the whales make it to the land and they died. So there was no story from. There was no whale whistle after that. The whale died. So there's no afterlife where we get to sing, or like if you live now in the afterlife, you'll there's no party in the afterlife where we get to see each other again, or you could hear us in the afterlife, but not now. Everything is done more like today. There's no future. There's no living in the past. Um, uh, like you could hide things that came from the past, but those are really concealed items. Those are best to be kept hidden away from the police. Um, that's pretty much how the Vietnam War started. It was a concealed item. It's not really a sad story, though. To me, it was kind of funny because I didn't know anybody. I wasn't close enough with any of them. Um, it was in the history book, um, and there were movies on it about like such times, but it's more of a math problem. Just go to school. I don't know. Work hard on those video games. Keep going to the dojo. Compete as hard as you can. If you're the opposite, like if you suffer from some sort of stupidity, then I don't know. Go buy some cigarettes and drugs and join me. That's really the doctor's side of the story, though. Um, though I can't find the doctor anywhere. Um, I've been living my life sort of bleeding at the hip. Uh, just sort of with the rest of the artists that are really complaining and crying about how their story is so beautiful that they're bleeding red, and it's not really red, it's black ink. It's not really black ink, it's actually blue. It's sometimes red. It could be pink. It's you could imagine it's really a girl they're talking about. Of course, the story I was talking about is from the Candyland story, from Django Unchained, where there was a brothel and it's Samuel L. Jackson that was on Snakes on the Plane. It brings us all back to when Will Smith said we should do more studying on the triangle. He said that in front of everybody. Um, Everybody that was on the field, that was um, making clothing for him. I'm not quite sure what happened to him after that. He probably went on his lunch break. Maybe he went to go play basketball with his son, and they filmed The Pursuit of Happiness together, and they got together with Cable from Deadpool 2, and they lived their Hollywood lives. Um, Imagine that, and like you go to Carl's Jr. and there's like a whole friends list of uh, gothic people, and everybody's wearing piercings and wearing black, and their hair is in mohawks, and everybody's talking about their story of how their dad was wore his hair spiky one day, and mine was disheveled. Um, um, it's kind of sad here in America, um, the way this country was built by dinosaurs. It was one big art project by some dinosaur that thought that he was the father by stomping around. He thought it would be good to make so much noise that would impress the female dinosaurs and the pterodactyls, that if they spread their wings large enough, um, that I don't know, a giant China doll would come of it. That's not really how the world works. It's more competitive than that. You gotta sit in an Indian style. You gotta sit down Indian style with the rest of the Indians. You have to listen. At some point, everybody bursts out in questions and answers, and like the father has had enough, and the male Indian gives the rest of the group a very a dumb look that he was the bringer of life. Because I was there. I was the one that that to the rest of them, they thought they were being disrespected, but really it was working. The plan was working against them, so I turned it on them, and nothing too rough. It was just to teach them a lesson. Now it's on YouTube, and it still works. The cell phone still works. The magic is all there. Um, so you could imagine at this point in time with the George Floyd, you could imagine the rich house that full of Puerto Rican bodyguards, and their cigar types that are the way they built the house is completely like out of this world. Like they got the kitchen, and the backyard is where they eat. That's supposed to be where Maggie goes to the restroom. Um, 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 so I'm really wondering where I am in this world lately. The family I grew up with is one big family, but like uh, they're kind of useless to have around. Um, uh, um, if you're watching this and you feel disgusted, I mean, if you look over there, there's like a rat um, in the family. Now it's here in the. I'm not quite sure what its intentions are. If it's from like some kind of animal talking to another animal about how complaining about there are people talking and expressing themselves in odd-like fashion. That's not Indian tradition. That's not really how it works either. You just gotta watch your back. In the end, it doesn't really matter how you're dressed. I mean, uh, I'm pretty sure in greater cities where they say greatness comes from, um, It was all one big sophisticated plan, even here in Los Angeles. So you could imagine from across the globe where the kingdom is, and places like a great defense like the Great Wall of China, which is empty now. Um, I don't know what the neighbors are doing here. They're just kind of resting there. Their address is not shown. It's just windows, and they come in and out of those doors, and they just live there, there and there, on that side of the wall, and that house there that their cousins come by, and he turns into a criminal, and he said at a young age he says, wow, this is a big house. He turns into a criminal, and he gets moved to Los Angeles, and well, he represents a flag. The wind is very how do I put it? It howls sometimes. The werewolf couldn't shut me up. I guess you could add this to shocking videos on the television. You have my authorization to put it on satellite if you wish. If whoever is watching this and they feel that they feel that people need to watch this because of its shocking behavior or something like that. If you really want to see shocking, just go to pay-per-view. Make more of these videos and put it on pay-per-view. But that's America today. The weather's nice. Everybody's hungry. The stomachs are rumbling. Blood is boiling. So jump in the pool. I don't know. Throw your dad in there if you want. Put your babies in there. Everybody have a good time. I don't know, go buy some water guns and have fun. So, it's Tuesday, so my car has to be inside. It's parked on the sidewalk. So, the police can't do anything because I'm following the rules. You could imagine how that guy wakes up in the morning. I gotta follow rules, I gotta follow rules. Very condescending like. Those are my rules. I have a whole army behind me. About these rules, I just twisted them. You have the ability coming to America to turn those things on militants. My grimace is the same as theirs. You can feel it in the wind as the water ripples. Everything that they filmed was because of stuff like this. I always mention that things and moments become stuff because eventually a female came into the picture, and she fights too. She even gives babies. It's really a sad story. A story of pain. That's 5 seconds. The whole video was around 1 hour. Imagine me in the USA. Those are the plants that I take care of. So I do take care of the wildlife I feed the birds. Um, it doesn't cost much. You could purchase everything at Home Depot. Um, I don't hate colors. So if you're thinking about leaving likes and hate mail, or like that's not how YouTube works. It's not a you don't leave your email. You just leave a comment, and you say something like, I don't know, something obtuse, something about the dictionary. Um, if you're much older folk, you send a link. Um, you talk about how you've worked greater days and you've done your prayers. You try to use those prayers against me, but um, I brought something for that. I'm actually in the family. So you have to live with it. You come up with all these things that he suffers from some kind of syndrome where um, he's only talking to the mirror in diesel jeans. It's sort of horrific. Just take a close look at the chain that I'm wearing. You might want to reconsider calling for help, or the number of people that have fallen watching this video. And it's not live, so it is running through the electricity. Down below is the water. Around me is the air and oxygen. So there's going to be a party. Somebody's going to get hurt. Eventually there's a funeral and my resting place. I'm probably going to be next to my mother. I'm probably gonna die of a car accident because of the people that are out there on the freeway are from overseas, so they don't speak the language. They can't read the signs. That's why they call the Asians the smarter bunch, because they went to school. They're on time at the dojo, and it's a technique. It's an old technique from the master and all his swords and all his flailing around, sitting Indian style. It's punishment. I'm just enjoying the shade. The sun is still there. It figures what the hell, it's gonna provide lighting for people that are doing most of the talking and most of the work. It's on break right now. It says it's from Greece. People vacation there. They took vacation and there's lovebirds there now. They waited all these years for you to just keep your trap shut. These are the bigger pieces. It's gang related. You can't tell me anything because you can only view the video. You can't splash water at the screen. Old people can't do much about it. Your son can't do much about it. You can't find out information and create a computer about it. try to break the borders. It has to do with the fourth wall. Um, I don't know, but I've seen how much you got anyway. Just to keep females wondering, just to keep the male excited. It's on television. They're talking about George Floyd, the guy that was put on the floor and the knee first at his neck, complaining that he couldn't breathe. Obviously, the knee was on his neck. It just goes to show that hatred is still there in America. Um, that could have happened to anybody, not just George Floyd. His name was George Floyd, so they figured if they're gonna call him another George Floyd, it's gonna happen all over again. They just keep calling him those names. My name is Wesley Perez. It's pretty simple. You just kind of look at it. You just kind of look at me and make a face. You figure you got better things to do, like put out a fire. I got better things to do too, like watch after my Xbox One S. I gotta buy another controller. I gotta buy parts for the thing. I have a Nintendo Switch. I gotta buy parts for. Not like from Parts Authority, because my stepdad, he works for that place. They do motor parts. Not for any motor, for vehicles that for transportation, like cars, like those type of things, like steering wheels and parts for the engine. I'm not quite sure what the terms he uses, but he uses a lot of codes. But yeah, I can't wait for Christmas. The family's gonna be over. They keep coming back. It's one big mess that really nobody has time for. They just keep coming back with the same excuse. They keep throwing the same love.